Welcome back, gang. It's Deltia from Deltiasgaming.com, and this time I'm here to give you an ultra simple solo build with, well, just one button. In little over an hour, I was able to no death VMA as a stamina melee build, and you can too. You'll want to watch this video with gameplay footage and narration while I'm completing the boss rounds, but most importantly, all the aspects of the build up front first as to why it works so well. This build isn't class specific, so it'll apply to everyone, even though I used a Nightblade. I'll give you some flexible options if you don't have the suggested gear and run down champion points consumables in a 1-bar build if you want to expand on it. If you like this type of content, hit that like, subscribe, and leave me a comment on what you'd like to see next. Budget build, crafting only, PvP, PvE challenge. Thanks for watching. Let's go with skill first. That's singular skill, and the obvious one that all stamina classes can use is from the two-handed skill line, and that's Carve, Morph of Cleave. 6-meter AoE and stackable 3 times bleed over time. 6-meter AoE and a stackable 3 times bleed dot. And that's what makes it so special, is that even though producing damage, the last effect gives you a massive shield that's even amplified further by the champion point slottable Bastion, meaning every time you swing, you're granted damage over time, AoE, and a sizable damage bubble. The best part about this, you can swing your sword or whatever you got equipped, and you get a bubble without even having a target. So moving from place to place, it's free damage shield, AoE, damage over time, and every class can use it. Two-handed also has a really important passive called Battle Rush, increasing your stamina regeneration by 30% after you kill a mob. This gives us incredible sustain, AoE, shield, and we don't even need to heal because of our gear sets. However, I'm going to give you some flexible options if you want to make a 1-bar build out of this with a little bit better damage and survivability. First off, you're going to need to use your most powerful class-specific skill. Like the Nightblade is Relentless Focus, or a Warden Subterranean Assault, and so forth. Second ability is Camouflage Hunter from the Fighters Guild, giving us increased weapon damage and minor berserk when we crit from the flank. Next ability up, I'd go with Echoing Vigor from Alliance War Assault skill line, giving us a strong heal over time for 10 seconds, and it's vital for survivability if you struggle with mechanics. And then last ability up is Executioner from Two-Handed, meant to replace your Carve spam at or around 30% health on the mob. Though you need to keep up that shield, so do some carves in between. And then go with the staple Fighters Guild Flawless Dawnbreaker. It's a good ultimate with a massive amount of increased weapon damage, and this would be a good 1-bar build. Now let's touch on the gear briefly. So the number 1 5-piece I would run is Briarheart. This comes from Hrothgar or Sinium DLC, or you can buy it from the traders. The 5-piece, when you deal critical damage, you increase your weapon damage and spell damage by 450 for 10 seconds. While this effect is active, your critical strikes heal you for a very little bit of health, but everything adds up and doesn't have 100% uptime. This gives us a great burst healing and a flood of weapon damage, though again, it doesn't have 100% uptime. What you can substitute it out with is Ancient Dragonguard. This is a craftable set. The strength of it is it gives you 300 weapon damage at all times, but it switches over if your health drops below 50% and gives you resistances. A strong craftable set. Griffin's Ferocity from Somerset or bought on Guild Traders. It's going to give you 2 really important buffs. One is speed, giving you higher mobility. Next 5-piece up can be difficult for a lot of people to obtain. That's Vicious Serpent, a trial set. This can be obtained from all the base trials in Cragorn, Hellraw Citadel, Etherean Archive, and Sanctum Ophidia. If I were you, I'd do Hellraw over and over and over because there's really good gear in there. The 5-piece is basically going to give us weapon and spell damage. It's going to reduce the cost of stamina abilities by 8%, and it's going to restore stamina and give us major expedition for 8 seconds. It has a 1-second cooldown, so in these solo arenas, there's always mob spawning. This will carry your sustained mobility and even your survivability to some extent. There is a good substitution, actually, and that's Vengeance Leech, a PvP Cyrodiil Bruma Elite Gear vendor. You can also buy Vengeance Leech dirt cheap on the traders because people don't think it's very good. When you kill something, it gives you health, magicka, and stamina back on kills and doesn't have a cooldown. But it only comes in 3-piece, but you're going to want to run it in jewelry specifically and then run a weapon of agility to replace the lack of a 5-piece. So that will give you a strong 5-piece that gives you resource sustain. Not as strong a Vicious Serpent, but it is a good option. I used it when I started over on PCEU. Next up is the hard carry, and that's Pale Order. This is obtained through Antiquity system and can be difficult for everyone to get. It's going to restore 20% of the damage you deal as health. This is really good for solo play. The value is decreased per ally you have with you, so if you're running a dungeon, trial, you don't want to run this, but for solo, it's incredible. The more damage you do, the more healing you get, the more you can just go on the attack, but there is flexible options if people do not have mythics. Number one would be Ice Heart from Dire Frost. It gives you a massive shield when you do critical damage. So if you're playing on the offensive, this is a good monster helm to replace it with. Engine Guardian. What would be a Deltia build out Engine Guardian? This will allow you to do your carve in between fights or whenever you're going into the action and spawn a little droid that's going to give you one of 3 resource pools. Hopefully it's health or stamina. Probably the best option for stamina builds is Scourge Harvest or Malabeth coming from Wayrest Sewers 2. This is going to connect in melee and give you a beam and give you a massive flood of health along with a really powerful buff. And it has a pretty low cooldown, so I'd highly recommend getting this if you don't have Pale Order because you're going to be in melee range. The mobs are going to connect that beam and it'll keep you survivable. Very, very good. Next up is Crags. This is Fungal Grotto 1. I put this on my shoulder, and the reason why, it's a 1-piece. If you're using Pale Order, you have to use this. And it gives you penetration. So medium armor passives lack penetration. This will really ramp up your damage. Feel free to replace this with anything that gives weapon damage, max stamina. And if you don't have either of those, go with the Trainee. That's in the starter zones and you can buy it off the traders. And if we take a look at my gear chart, here's what it looks like. And yes, I golded all this out. So 5-piece Briarheart, 5-piece Vicious Ophidian, Divines is a trait that you want to go with, then max stamina glyphs. You also want to spend the transmutes to get the Bloodthirsty on your jewelry. This makes a massive difference in your damage, trust me. And then you want to be at least around 22,000 health, depending on your racial choice. You might have to bump some attributes up into health if so. So here's my stats, fully buffed. I have 22,000 health, 29,000 stamina. I'm using a Khajiit, about 5,500 weapon damage with 52% weapon critical. And you can see I just killed a critter and my stamina recovery is at 1,900, so decent stamina recovery. Now you're going to want to get some consumables that are going to be really helpful for you. Try potions. These are obvious for oh crap moments. I didn't even use it on this run because I had such strong survivability. But the one I always use was weapon power potion. That's going to give you uptime on your important damage buffs like weapon critical and weapon damage since we're not running those buffs. Also keep some lingering health ones for mechanics that you need to survive and you have no target. This will give you healing over time for about 16 seconds and major vitality. Important point here is make sure you have medicinal use from the alchemy skill maxed out and at least 3 points in there. You'll get way more bang for your buck with potions, and if you're going to do end game content, you really need to get this up. And then lastly, you're going to have drain health poisons. This is going to be on your front bar, obviously. It's going to give you 2 things of healing, and there's a really expensive one that even gives you a little bit of minor vitality. This, along with Pale Order or your monster helm, will keep you very survivable. Mundus stones. I went with the Thief for medical critical chance and uptime on Briarheart. Champion points in the warfare, I went with Untamed Aggression, Raidful Strike, Fighting Finesse, Master at Arms. The reason I went with the 2 weapon damage ones is because the carve works in a little bit of a unique way. It's damage up front and damage over time. So play around with the champion points. For the fitness, Boundless Vitality, Fortified, and Bastion Bloody Renewal. Bastion will increase your shield on carve. Trust me, it's worth taking. The racial choice I used was Khajiit, but if you really want survivability, I'd go with an Orc. It's going to increase stamina, health, and it's going to give you some weapon damage, but it has a unique thing that's going to heal you for a decent amount, and it can happen every 4 seconds. Well, gang, that's a sample build video. Now let me walk you through some of the important fights in VMA, kind of narrating what's going on through my mind so you can take this, adapt it, and use it for you. Okay, now we're in the Rink of Frozen Blood. What people really struggle on. And so what I always tell people is focus on not the melee, but the range. The range is what kills you, okay? Now, you see this troll here. It's going to spawn, and we need to follow it, okay? Normally, you can just kind of bypass it or use a range attack to mess with it. But we have low DPS. We're going to have to follow all the mechanics and go back and stop and bash it. So I'm going to go rotate around. Werewolf's up because we didn't kill it in time. Now we're going to have to jump over here. So as soon as I get over here, I try to prioritize from memorization the #1 damage producing mob, which is usually the caster, and then I turn my camera back this way. The reason I turn my camera back this way is I want to see the position of the troll. So I got the troll and I got the mini boss on top of it. Now I'm going to angle my camera just out of memory back so I can see the center when that troll pops. The mob gets stuck in an animation, and so I'm getting back of it. The reason why is Nightblade has a Master's Assassin passive that just adds penetration without slotting anything, without doing anything. You hit harder if you're attacking from the flank. So you kind of want to reprogram your brain to always do that as a Nightblade. Fully charge heavy attack, and then do a dodge right after that. Again, stacking on top, focusing the camera here. Sounds very simple, but being situationally aware will have a big impact on what you're doing. Okay, that should go down. Now a troll should spawn, so let's see what happens. I'm going to stand on the very back of this pad. Reason why is the caster will come forward. Okay, so I'm going to do a dodge ski. Hopefully I can bash it in time. Got it. Okay, now you see how it's right on the edge of the platform, so I can kill it along with the ogres here. Block, heavy attack coming in. Got it. Okay, we're going to go over here. Use a potion off cooldown, fully charge as we close the distance. And another thing that two-hander does that's really useful is not only the fully charge extra damage, but as soon as you kill something, you get 10 seconds of increased recovery. And I think it's 30%. So that's a really good reason to use a two-hander along with the follow-up. So I do this, bang, and the next direct damage, it's 10% harder for free. Okay, we're stacking here, and then fully charge. This ice guy just, kind of gets in that animation. So again, he's not exactly the most damage producing. We're going to get this caster down, and there's another caster. So that's why I pull clear to the back here. When I pull clear to the back, you see how it sits on the platform? So if you're a melee and you're just getting peppered at range, you're going to die and get frustrated. But the way you do it is it's NPCs. It's Mario Brothers. So pull back like this, and it'll have to come to you. It has no other choice because it has a range as well. So we got down on a 15, 28 meters. Same thing, fully charged. Potion off cooldown. I'm going to use it. I'm going to wait for this thing to get stuck in the animation just because it does that animation pretty quick straight off the bat. I'm facing my camera. Why? Because that troll's coming. So I'm going to dodge. Normally, I would just kill the ice thing to kind of push over the next phase, but taking it simple. So get stuck in the animation, get behind it, and just carve. Being cognizant, my eyeballs are looking right at my stamina pools. Looking middle, because the troll will probably spawn here pretty quick, right? Yeah, now it spawns a great. Fully charge heavy attack, and then do a dodge. So, of course, it goes to the wrong platform. We're going to have to deal with it. So pull back, and we got 2 range on us. This is going to be really hard to deal with. Hold block, do a dodge. Okay, get behind those 2. See, I got 1 down. Okay, now it's manageable. Fully charged, try to get the second one down. And do a dodge. The dots are ticking because it's 3 stackable damage over time. So even when you're not pressing it, it'll proc that pale order and do some damage. Okay, so I'm rotating around. Potion off cooldown. I want to see what the troll does. And we got lucky with the troll one. Now the boss is going to spawn right there where I'm at. But guess who's going to spawn over here? I'm going to pull back, see if it goes. Yep, it goes right to the edge. Now I'm going to turn my camera here so I can see the boss and the little guy. This boss is very easy. It'll kind of kick you, but you'll have a damage heal or enough heals over time running where it's really not going to kill you. So as long as you maintain discipline and get a bunch of those ads down straight away, shouldn't be an issue. Now we got the big troublesome one up. Okay? So it shoots its rocks out, got this down, pull back to the edge, fully charge, and I'm going to rotate. Rotate around. You'll see why I rotate. You'll get stuck. See that big heavy attack would have hit me, but I rotated. Okay. Now, we got 3 platforms. Essentially, we're going to do ad control until we get to the very last platform. And when we get to the very last platform, we just have to, just spam carve and pray that we can get it down in time. Otherwise, we won't meet the DPS check, really. Which we can. So 1, 2. So it's going to glow red. And when it glows red, that's the mechanic to get the heck off the platform. So CC break, when it does that big dip on the animation, it's going to CC you. If you do not break free of CC quickly, you will die. No questions asked. Fully charged heavy attack, that's the big bright thing I was talking about. So it's going to smash down. We're going to pull back. Let's see what the troll breaker does. Now it shoots a wave. I'm strafing because this Lamia that it summons will do attack on me. Okay. So I had my shield up. I hit a carve real quick because I knew that was going to save my life. Another carve. I'm looking down. See the waves past me? Okay. We're going to kill the troll. And we're trying not to do damage to it because it'll proc extra ads, which it did right there. So now let's get rid of ad control. So I'm going to go back all the way to the edge, right? And so guess who? What? The caster, right on the edge. CC break immediately. Pull back. Get it down. Get the werewolf down. Now we're in control. So it's going to do its mechanic here. I'm going to try to take out the troll breaker quick. Now we have Lamiad. So we're at 42%. It's going to just have to be big damage here on the very last platform. So we're pulling away, trying to center it. Here we go. The ads are going to come from this direction. So that's why I'm facing my camera there. Go back to just the edge here. Fully charged. We got a troll coming. We're at 27%, so we just need to slap this thing. I'm going to bash quickly so it doesn't break the platform. Do a dodge quickly. Another bash. And I'm snared. CC break. I'm out of gas, but I'm going to use a potion really quickly. Pull back. Fully charged, so I can't do anything. It's enraged. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Bang! Got it down just in time. So, lesson learned. At that last platform, you're just going to have to solely focus on it. And usually it doesn't matter, but we had enough DPS to get it done. Alright, we're getting ready for the boss round here, and something that people struggle with is the archers. So you always want to target the archers in this specific round because the melee is going to come to you. I'm looking at my peripheral vision. Make sure that I can focus in the corners, because see, this ad comes, it'll kill you if you don't take care of it right away. So we're going to take care of it. Now, it's going to have a 3 archer round, so we're going to pull over here and try to get one of them down quickly. So I'm going to fully charge to try to get that, land that as soon as it appears. If I can get one down quickly, I'm turning my camera so I can follow that discipline of making sure I know where the dots are. And then as these are about to die, we will get a couple trolls. And then we're going to get the final boss. So what we need to do is make sure we can control the trolls and not run out of stamina for the final boss. So I got this down. We got 2 trolls coming. So the Venom Caller, we're going to get it down. And now we're going to try to prioritize one troll. It gets stuck in that animation and kind of gets enraged. We're going to focus the other one. So it hasn't happened yet, but I'm just going to put some pressure on this one. Okay, and backing out of that, and you can see that troll is enraged now. So it's a priority to kill it. Okay, so we can kill that one. The other one starts to enrage. And I'm rotating my camera around because I want to see that mob critter come out. So the Venom Caller has not. I'm just going to keep on rotating to avoid stuff. So Venom Caller should spawn. It goes in that corner, that corner, that corner. So it spawned right by the boss. I'm going to hit it. Okay, so now we got to be very, very disciplined on this one. We got crap in the middle, crap everywhere. So this is going to be a really tough pull. I'm going to pull back here because the boss is melee, right? Full block here. The stomp is going to stomp you. That's going to kind of stun you here. He's going to put his hand in the ground, and you're going to try to block it real quick. See that right there? I blocked it. And it does it right again. I'm going to pull back here. And then hold block. Now I'm going to get right underneath it. So I got lucky here. You can see I'm taking damage from the mob. So I got to make sure that I don't do that. Yep. It's killing the mob. So we got the caster coming out. And as soon as this goes down, we got to get out of dodge because it'll stun us. Okay, got it down. Hold block. It's right by a poison thing. So I'm just going to rotate around. And you just have to do the exact same mechanics over and over. The faster you have DPS, the faster this goes. So I have 11,000 DPS. Remember, you need about 7,000 or so to do a dodge after a break free. See how it breaks me down? So I'm going to hold heavy attack here. So you have to kind of go in between doing heavy attacks because there's not a lot of mobs to kill. Our Vicious Ophidian isn't proccing very much. Same discipline. 2 mobs are going to come out. Hold block. And we're going to have to deal with them. 15,000. I can be a little bit more aggressive. It should try to stun me here. I block it. I block it. Don't hit it in time. And here we go. 2 mobs and a Venom Caller. I'm going to take care of the Venom Caller first. Right in range out of there. Okay. Taking care of that. And then the other one is parked right on top of the boss. Hopefully I can hit it. Hold block. Okay. So it just basically kind of almost killed me. See if I can hit it without hitting the other mob. Good. So if you can get time... Get it close, you can do damage right here. So now, want to do a dot on it, and should not kill me. Good. Timed it perfectly. Because that thing will stun you as soon as it's done with its channel. Okay? 42%, 11,000 stamina. Now I have 6. So I gotta do a fully charge heavy, 1 carve. Fully charge heavy, 1 carve. Venom Caller's up, and I didn't catch it because my camera wasn't facing the right direction. Now I got it's gonna replant the crap on the ground, so we have to probably do 1 more phase of ad. Block. Block. Missed it. Fully charge heavy attack because we're going to probably have to dodge Rolski here. So we're going to need to pick the ad that doesn't have a poison thing on top of it, which looks like the nearest one here. So I'm going to kind of roll. Fully charge it. 1, So Venom Caller's up. You can choose to kill it or not. I'm going to choose to kind of not risk it here. Okay. Got that down, and then I'm going to go right on top. So I'm going to do one test attack. Make sure I don't hit the other guy. Don't hit it. I'm hitting it with a light attack. Here we go. And I shouldn't be able to kill it in time. 100,000. So fully charge heavy attack, and then run. Dodge. Okay, hold block. Fully charge as I close the distance. CC break. Got it down. There's round 7 with one button. All right, one pull before the final boss here. So we're going to get round 5. We got the Crim Guard. I'm going to stack on top of the melee, and I'm just going to face tank it here. So as long as you're doing carves, calm, you hit it, you should be good. So I'm going to use a weapon power potion here. And I'm going to slot to a major vitality potion because this can get really rough. So I'm going to kind of rotate around, see if any golden things are happening. It's going to do a heavy attack, so I'm going to be prepared for that. And if it's ground-based AoEs, there's a heavy attack. Fully charged, I got to have some stamina. Okay, we're looking good. Knock us back here, you can CC break it. And now we're going to have a bunch of adds here in a second. Since I'm not range, I got to close the distance, 70% on the boss. Make sure we're doing good damage, hold block. Okay. Nothing coming, so we gotta have really good discipline, about 50%. We'll get you some adds. Okay, here comes the adds. Fully charged heavy attack, because one will stun us straight off the bat. And block. Got some archers rotating around. The melee's following us, so no problem. Trying to do damage to everything at once, so I don't have to redo it. I'm gonna use a major vitality potions, which is gonna carry my healing for a minute. Very low DPS, but we gotta survive. That's number 1. So here we go. It's down. I'm going to reslot the weapon power potion now and just add control here. We got 1 of the spirit things, so we need 3 to proc the stun on the final boss. Here comes the second one, so I'm going to take my time and grab that puppy. Fully charge. Got it down. And now we're going to have an Ogrim. I want to make sure I got plenty of stam, hold block. And down. Okay. So now we got a third one. Let's do some damage here because you're only going to have so much time with it. So let's grab it. Get like about 20 seconds. So block here on the Ogrim guy. Use a potion. Trying to get it down. And then as soon as the boss spawns, we can use it. So you can see the countdown. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. So as soon as the portal happens, I got to wait till my last second. 3, 2, 1. Let's hit it. Get behind the boss. 1, 2, 3. Get some dots on it. We're going to have to be very, very slow. So we got the add up. We got 80-some%. It's going to channel here pretty soon. So I got lucky. It's going to be right on top of each other and the Crim Guard. So let's do damage to everything at once. Get the healer down. Fully charge. And it's going to do its launch. Okay, good. Now I push the boss over. So I got to make sure my shields are up. Let's go ahead and kill the Crim Guard while we're at it. And drag it back. Here comes the little dog critter. Potion off cooldown. Here's the Clan Fear. 1, 2, block, and we're going at the portals. All right, we gotta take our time. If we're taking too much damage, we can always drop down or just don't get knocked down if we don't have to. So I'm gonna aim my camera so that I see the boss. You see how it's aimed like that? So that way I can kind of keep my eyes on it. 1, 2, and then backpedal. Okay, we're gonna have to hang out here. Not much we can do, so I'm looking at my potion, looking at my timers, see if I can fully charge heavy attack. I do, get some resources back, and then do a dodge ski. Fully charge again, make sure my resources are good. That 1 crystal is just about down, so we're looking pretty good here. Dodge again, fully charge after a dodge, maintain my resources. And we're looking where the portal pops up. Luckily we got it here. I'm gonna do a fully charge, potion off cooldown. Okay, looking good. Then we're gonna start focusing this one here. Yep, 1, 2, and then dodge. Okay, we're down to just 2 remaining, and 1 just has a sliver of health, so we should be good. And dodge again, fully charge as soon as my dodge is done. Crystal. So when we come down here, we're gonna have to do the spirit game again. See if we can get that down. You see this is much faster now. So it gets harder and harder. So if you can't keep up with it, you run out of resources, just drop down. You will have to fight a Crim Guard, unfortunately. So dodge. I'm doing a shield just in midair, but I got it. Okay, now we're gonna have to boogie, 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 boogie. Do 1. Brawler just procs a shield even though there's no target. It doesn't know, apparently. Do a dodge, okay. And then we gotta get that. We gotta get that. Whew. Block here. Potion off cooldown. Try to kill them both at once. Reason being is, gonna be slow and steady. So as long as we kill it once, we should be good. Okay. I'm going to zip on over here, grab this thing, and then watch for the channel on the boss. We get a third one. This should be easy peasy. Fully charge in the corner. Bash. Here it comes. I'm going to grab it off a dodge because I know it's going to attack me. I'm going to try to hit it right here. Unfortunately, I didn't get it on top of the Crim Guard, so that was a bad play. So the Crim Guard is really the only thing that's going to kill me. So I'm going to go back here, fully charge this puppy. Crim Guard's going to be coming, but it's pretty low HP. So now we got to be cognizant of the dodge right there. Got it. Okay, then we got another one. Let's play it safe here with a bash. Just go here. You never know how long this is going to go. Fully charge, potion off cooldown. Looking good. Pull back. I got plenty of resources. And let's get the Spectral Explosion and end this thing. Get behind it. Easy money. 1 hour, just over 1 hour, 514,000 in total. No death. Finished it with one button. Carve as your friend. You can do this too. Add some things on top of it and you'll do way more damage. But when in doubt, keep it simple. And not only magic can be very, very survivable. So can melee stamina blades as well. Thanks for watching. Well, gang, that's a build. Hope you enjoyed and learned something. Consider becoming a Patreon if this build helped you out, as it allows me to crank out more content for y'all. Thanks for watching.